Welcome, 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 everybody, to another night of Tuesday Night Chit Chat, where we talk about anything and everything. If you're new here, if this is your first time, I'm Sly, and I have some I think they're exciting, some new gizmos and gadgets to show you. I love my gizmos and gadgets. Some of them are camera related, some of them are not, but let's just kind of jump right into it. Why not? So, a really good friend of mine showed me how to do this, and I can't stop. So, if you guys don't like this new format thing, where I show you kind of what I found during the week, please let me know, and I'll stop. But he made it so easy that I just kind of have to give a huge shout out to Randy. You've created a monster, sir. So every time I get something new, I got to share it with you. And he made it so easy that we're just gonna jump right into it. So the first thing I found was, are you ready for this? This is so cool. If I can get it to work. There it is. I don't know why it's on that one. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. It is this, I want to say it's pronounced Llano. It's Llano. So I think it's Llano. But it's a battery charger for camera batteries. So it's kind of like my DJI has a battery charger for the camera and for the mics. It comes in a little charging case. But the camera batteries, I never had a charging case for them. So this is so cool. It'll charge both. Now, I shoot with Canons. It'll charge both Canon and off-brand because I like the Wasabi batteries. The Canon charger, which is almost as big, only charges one battery and it only charges Canon. It doesn't seem to like the Wasabi batteries. So now in my little camera, the Canon charger charges the Wasabi battery. So I don't know why this one doesn't, but it doesn't. And it only charges one at a time. And I'm going to start traveling. And when you're talking about traveling, you need something as small as you can get. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's about the same size. It's a little bit bigger, but not noticeable. It's very negligible that it's bigger. But it charges 2 batteries, which is pretty, I don't think I can do that when I'm on here. I'm still learning, guys. Bear with me. And it gives you an indicator light of, now it doesn't show up in the camera, but the indicator light tells you how much charge each battery has. It blinky blinky in the camera, but you can see it on the screen that it shows if one battery is at 60% and the other battery is 100%, you know which is which. And it charges with a USB-C. And ever since I got this, all of my batteries are charged now because and it charges really quickly. I think it took like a completely dead battery and it was charged, I want to say it was like an hour. It had charged the 2 batteries in there. And so, yeah, now all my batteries are charged. So it is on a little on the expensive side. It does not come with batteries. So it is just the charging box, but it has a magnetic lid. Everybody knows I love my magnets. And so I don't know. I'm enamored with this thing. It's a game changer. So I'm going to take it and leave the Canon charger at home. Thank you very much. So I'm trying to get, everything kind of, I'm leaving for, I think 12 days at the end of November. So I'm kind of trying to get everything lined up so I can test it out, see how I like it. And then when I'm good to go, I don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so the next thing up is, well, let's go back to here. Okay, the next thing up is when I go remotely and do a live stream, I use my laptop. The problem is with the laptop on a desk or a table, it's like way down here. And so the camera's way down here. And if you tilt it back, yeah, you can see me, but you're kind of looking up my nose. So everywhere that I have done a remote, I've had to find a box or something to raise the laptop up so the camera is more eye level. Okay. And then the keyboard is way up here. So I got a what do you call it? A wireless Bluetooth keyboard, I think. And that's great. It's perfect. But I still was having to think about how do I raise that up and take something with me so that when I get somewhere I'm not constantly hunting a box or some kind of, and I looked at all different kinds of stands, and a lot of them are not for travel. They are for like a permanent thing. And yeah, they're adjustable a little bit, but they've got like a big post and screws that hold them together. And so that I didn't really want to get something that you had to put together and take apart every time you wanted to go somewhere. So I found this, and it's a game changer. Let me tell you, it's by it. I don't know who it's by. It just says, let me get on this one. This one right here. This one right here. Click, click. I love this. It just says universal aluminum ally holder, and it'll fit laptops, tablets. I think it would probably even fit a phone. Comes in a cute little carrying case, and voila, that's it. Look how little that is. Very lightweight, but it's made out of metal, so you don't have to worry about it like breaking. And you can put it in this little case, slide it in the backpack where the laptop goes, and it just unfolds. And then these little legs, those little legs, go down. It's got these little arms on the back, and they just kind of, I don't know if I can do this on camera. Yeah, they just kind of sit like so, and it elevates the laptop. Now, what that does is when you open it, the camera now is looking at me instead of being down here. And it's fantastic. It's got these little, I guess they're like a rubber feet right here so it doesn't slide off. And it's so smooth. It just opens. It doesn't take hardly any effort. And if you only had a tablet, you would just not open it as far. But this is going to be a game changer. I just am enamored with my finds this week because they're not that expensive. This was like $10. And again, just slide it in your backpack and off you go. So let's see who's here, and then we'll get on to some flashlights. Because, I kind of like flashlights. I'm kind of weird. Oh, speak of the devil. Randy's here. Hello, Sly and everyone. And Roy made it in all the way from Australia. G'day, Sly. G'day, Roy. And Randy's saying hi to Roy. So, Randy, I was just giving you kudos because you've created a monster. And that's okay. And Roy's saying hi back to Randy. And Miss Evelyn is here. Hello, so glad to be here and help me learn. Fun. Miss Evelyn, if you ever want to do a live stream, I'm your girl. I can hook you up on the cheap. So, you probably already have the stuff you need. If you don't, Scott does, right? So, I do want to bring up something since Miss Evelyn is here. I started getting some messages on Facebook Messenger, and it said it was from Miss Evelyn. I kind of, after a few back and forths, I kind of figured it wasn't. And so I messaged her a different way, and sure enough, it wasn't. So if you get messages from me or really anybody you know, and it sounds a little off, number one, I will never, ever, ever message you guys and ask you for money. Okay? Not my style. I just don't do that. So if you ever get a message and I'm asking you to click on this link and buy this or what, it ain't me. Okay? I will show you some products on my live stream and you can click the link that's in the description, but I will never message you and ask you to buy anything or follow this link or anything like that. So just, Facebook's kind of, it's a useful tool and I enjoy it. I'm not on there very much, but I do enjoy it. But just be careful. So I think we got that straightened out on Miss Evelyn's account. But just be careful. I just wanted to bring it up so that everybody knows that I don't do that. And Roy says, question. Roy, I read all of them, so I'm not real picky about the cues. Quick charge lesson battery life. Does it have slow charge too? No, I don't think it does. It actually says fast charger on the box. So I do not think it does a trickle charge. Is that a thing? I mean, why? So educate me. Why would I want a slow charge versus a fast charge? Because, in this day and age, everybody's about the faster the better. So educate me. Why would I want a slow charge? Because I honestly don't know. And Peter's here. How you doing, bud? Everything looks and sounds great tonight. Well, thank you, sir. I did do a little preliminary test because I've had everything down and I've actually gotten to test things. And so I've had every camera down. I had to put them all back up. And so I did actually do like a check to make sure I didn't have anything turned on that shouldn't be turned on. So, and it sounded okay to me. So, Peter says, camera position on the laptop is the weakest aspect. Great find, game changer here. Yes. Well, as I was reading the comments on the different stands, a lot of people get their wrists messed up from typing on the laptop on a flat surface. So if you elevate it just a little bit, it's apparently better for typing. Now, I have a separate keyboard, so it's not really, it doesn't matter if it's, this high off the desk or whatever. But I guess if you're on your laptop a lot, and a lot of people do use them a lot, I'm not one of them. I have these big computers. I would much rather look at a huge screen than a little 13-inch screen. But for remote live streams, yeah, it was really a problem. I mean, so far, everywhere I've been able to find a box. I think at one of the hotels, I was going to use a dresser drawer, and I ended up finding a box. So, but you have to scrounge, and then everything you find is a little bit different height. So, this is wonderful, and it's so lightweight and so easy to pack. Yes. Roy says, would it be easier to just plug in a webcam? I don't have a webcam. I used to. I gave it to my son because he is a gamer, and the webcam that he had was not so good. I think it did like 360p or something. Anyway, it wasn't good. His audio, we got his audio really good, but his face was not good. So I gave him my old webcam, which was really good because now I have a camera. So yeah, easier. And as far as taking a camera and hooking all this up to the laptop, you could, I suppose, but you would have to have, there's a few more steps involved than just using the camera built into the laptop. And the reason I got the laptop I did is because it has a better camera. So, yeah, there's that. Peter says, flashlights are one of my favorite things. I carry one with me all day. Oh, you're going to love these. These are the bomb diggity. Yeah, I'm so happy I found them. And there's like different levels, so it's fantastic. Sammy's here. Hey, everyone. Hey, Sammy. How you doing, bud? And Roy says, slow charge makes batteries last longer. Okay. I could see that. The Wasabi batteries are so reasonably priced that, and so far the ones I have, I bought pretty much when I bought the cameras. So they've lasted a couple of years. And they're inexpensive enough that if I had to buy them again, it would be fine. I mean, but that is good to know because I think everything I have is fast charge. I think the DJI stuff is all, I mean, everything charges pretty quickly. So now I will say, I didn't show it to you tonight. If you're interested, I'll show it to you next week. But I got a thing from Anchor that is like this big charging station, but it's not big. It's really flat. Again, it'll fit in the backpack really easy, but it charges two, I think USB-A, two USB-C, and then 4 outlets. If you have everything plugged in, it does take longer. But if you're out and about and shooting all day and then you come back and you charge everything up, by the time you wake up in the morning, everything will be charged. So I'm good with that. As long as I can get several batteries kind of preloaded, then I don't have to worry, because these batteries, realistically, when you're videoing, they only last about an hour. That's a really good rule of thumb. Sometimes they might go an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, but a good rule of thumb is with the camera running, it's only going to last about an hour. So now, you may only video for like 30 minutes throughout the entire day, or you may get 2 or 3 hours of footage. So it's kind of hard to gauge. So I like to have 4 batteries with me, 1 in the camera and 3 in my bag. Well, this will give me 2 in the charger thing, and then I'll keep 1 in the camera and then 1 in my bag. So it's a winner for me. Shane's here. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you made it. We got all our Aussies tonight. Oh, we haven't seen Jeff. Nope, haven't seen Jeff. Roy says, hate the laptop camera. Glued a webcam to an Arca Swiss plate instead. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. The webcam I had was a Razer Cryosera, something like that. And it sits on the big monitors, great. It might be a little big for a laptop. It would raise it up a little bit because it's a pretty good size little camera, but and it's crystal clear. I love that camera, but it's not like an actual real camera. I mean, in 1080, it's spot on, and you can narrow the field or make it wider, and it's a really good camera. But and he uses it, and he doesn't even know how good a camera it is. It just works great, and that's all he cares about. Sammy says, your webcam is a camera. Yes, it is. Well, yes, it is. And in my laptop, that's what I use when I go where I go. So, Roy says, my favorite webcam is a Z8. Yes, and I could take this camera, or, well, I do take the M6, so I could use that as a webcam. It's just a lot more you have to have something to set it on. It's just a lot more involved. And I like easy. I like that big red easy button. Yeah, that's what I'm about. Peter says, have you heard, fake or not, I don't know, about a flashlight that can start a fire? Color me skeptical. Actually, yes, they can. And they can do it in your pocket. So one of these that I'm going to show you tonight actually gets really hot. I don't remember which one it is. I think I do. But when it's on high, it gets really, really hot. So you don't want to use it on high very long. But yes, they can start a fire, and it has happened. There have been several YouTube videos made on flashlights that have started fires in people's backpack or pocket. Usually if it's in a pocket, you feel the heat, but if it's in your backpack and it turns on by accident or something, then you've got some problems. Now, there are ways to prevent that, and some of these I'll show you how to do that. Royce says to Peter, old strobes were powerful enough to set paper alight. Yes, they were. And so are these flashlights. So let's just jump into the flashlights. All right. So the first one I've got is, and these are all by Through Night. I don't know why that's, so I can lower that a little bit. There we go. Okay. So the first one, look at that, $11. Now, I got the green version, but I know a lot of you guys like the black. $11. Now, here's the thing, and I'm gonna see how hot these get, because one of these does get really hot really quickly. This is only 659 lumens. Okay, so this is not a flashlight that you would take outdoors and be able to see very much. I mean, you could see in front of you, okay, but this is an around the house flashlight that is, I mean, I ever since I got these, I've had them almost a week. I have been using them nonstop because I love flashlights, and there are so many things as I get older, I need more light to see, and the rest of the world doesn't. So you don't want to carry, a photography light with you everywhere you go around the house. And so I just carry one of these little things, and I don't know if you can see, but anyway, it's only 650 lumens. This is not the one that gets hot. Okay. So for $11, it's got a tail switch, which I like. I'm really kind of, I don't know why, but my big flashlights have the thing on the barrel, and I prefer the tail switch. And that's just me. But if this can actually accidentally get turned on, because it is a tail switch and it is raised. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it is a raised tail switch. So, but as far as just having a light by your on your nightstand, this is a bomb diggity. It's not so bright that it gets so hot, but it definitely, you can look in a cabinet and see what's way in the back there, and this is so handy for carrying around the house. And at $11, I mean, it is, I think this is the one that is, the battery is, yeah, okay. So this one, let me get this on here. The battery is rechargeable. It's not going to show up. Okay. So you have to take the battery out and charge actually the battery. I don't, as a rule, like those, but I mean, the charge has lasted quite a while, so I can't really complain too much about it. But that is the Through Night Saber. Now, they all have kind of close names, so that's why I wanted to, it is the Saber. All right. This one, see if we can get that down where you can see it, is the Through Night Archer Pro version 2. I think this is the one that gets hot. $16. It's a little bit brighter. And when you shine them next to each other, you can see the difference. This one, you could take this outside. It's not going to have a very long throw. So, like if you're on a dark street, it might shine down to the house next to you, but it's not going to shine too much past that. So, not not a really long throw, even though it's brighter at 950 lumens. It is a brighter flashlight. And because of its size, now they all have these dual clips. This is the one that gets hot. They all have these dual clips. And so you can attach this like to a ball cap. And so if you're working on a car or whatever, you can actually see what you're doing, which is great. But this is the one that on high, it's already starting to get warm. This one actually does get hot. So I would not let my grandson play with this one. He could play with the other two. But this one you could go outside, throw the trash away, and you could completely see where you're going. It's not as big as the one I carry in my truck, but it definitely, you could carry it in your pocket and definitely see where you're going. And it's 16 bucks. And now this one, you unscrew the barrel and let's just put you on this camera. Where did it go? This one. Let's see if that shows it. Yeah. This one, you just unscrew the barrel and it's USB-C, and so you don't have to take the battery out. And I really do kind of like that. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So I prefer the ones where you just unscrew the barrel instead of taking the whole battery out. And again, tail switch. So all of these have tail switches, and they're all roughly about the same size. And then the last one, which is my favorite, it's also the most expensive, is the... I just didn't center those very good, did I? The Archer Pro S. Again, tail switch. This thing is stupid bright. This is 1459 on high, lumens on high. Extremely bright. This one would blind your neighbor, right? And it's in a very, very small package. These are all about the same size. They just have different lumens. But I mean, and yes, I forgot to turn on my lights. How about that? Maybe I can just use a flashlight. I don't know what I'd bounce it off of, but they all have the indicator light. I don't know if you can see that. You see that little blue light? They all have an indicator light, so when it starts running out of juice, it turns red. And if it's blue, it's good to go. But this one stays reasonably cool, even though it's higher lumens than the other one. And they all have the same clippy, and they all have a tail switch. This one is a little bit more expensive because it's noticeable. If you put all three of them up against a wall, this is noticeably the brightest, and the the Saber is definitely the dimmest. And they all, let's see if I can get back and show this to you. Well, I could if I could find my mouse. it's always a problem. Okay, so I'll put these, I think that's right. Is it right? I think it goes like that. Maybe it goes like that. Okay. So they are all really, really close to the same size. This is the Saber, the Archer, hang on, the Archer Pro V2, and I think I have these right. No, I don't. I'm sorry. This is the Archer Pro V2, and this is the Archer Pro S. So the Pro S is the strongest. They kind of, the way they're priced from lowest to high is pretty much how they how bright they are. So the lowest one is great for indoors. It's like, what was it, $10? And then the $23 one is great for outdoors because it is stupid bright. Now they do all have the feature where you can, like, I guess you can see that. If you hold the tail switch down, it'll dim down. So, and then flash when it's all the way down. And then you just hold it again and it comes back up. See, like, yeah, you can kind of see that. But yeah, I'm like the flashlight queen. And so I have lots of flashlights. I think, oh, here's my big one. This is the biggest one I have. And I didn't have a link to it, but it's a through night also. And the reason I like this one, it doesn't have the tail switch. It's on the top, but this one will throw all the way down the block. I mean, look at how big that head is. So it's probably about as bright as the brightest of these, but the throw on it is ridiculous. And of course, this is like a $70 flashlight, but I don't know if I should even show that. But yeah, that thing's stupid bright, and it will illuminate the woods. So if you're out in the woods, and this one needs to be charged. Now this one, it has a little rubber flap that opens, so you don't have to unscrew anything or anything. It's just right there. And that's how the ones in my truck are. They're you just open a rubber flap, but those are a lot more expensive. So, I mean, for $23 was the most expensive of these little ones. And my grandson and I both have a flashlight fetish. We like to play under the covers with the flashlight and build a tent type thing and shine the flashlight. And he just thinks that's a hoot. He absolutely adores that. So as long as he's willing to do it, because at 5, he's not going to want to play games with Granny for a whole lot longer. He's going to think I'm lame and want to do his own thing. So I'm going to cherish every second of it. All right, where did I leave off? Oh, yeah. Okay. Peter says those old strobes can blind you, Roy. The flashlights have kind of blinded me. So, yeah, there's that. Sammy says you could get a tiny Canon camera for travel. So I have the one I'm shooting on right now is an M200, and that's about as tiny as Canon makes without going to their ELF series. I think it's called ELF, the little point and shoots, which are fine. But I just sold my G7X Mark III because they're going for outrageous prices, and I thought I didn't really use it that much, so I thought, well, I'm going to sell it while the getting's good, and it sold in 2 hours. So I guess it was the right time. It's all about timing. Peter says, hi, Shane. The last few blogs I did around here have been with the S5 Mark II. We've seen those, and they're nice. So Peter's like me. We don't have the longest arms, and so I need kind of a wide lens because I can't hold the camera real far out for very long. When you're short, you have short arms, and I don't feel like they're T-Rex arms, but yeah, like a 6-foot tall guy can hold the camera out, and a 16mm lens is great for him, but for me, it puts my face like right in your face, and it's a little too tight. Shane says, nice, Peter. I will catch up on your videos today. And Roy says to Peter, at least they don't burn your hands like hot lights, right? Peter says, hot lights can send you to the hospital, Roy. Now we are on LED. And Roy says, hot flashlights. I don't need hot pants, right? Yeah, that middle one, I think it was, is the one that gets hot. And so that is a no-no for my little man because he has gone to sleep with the flashlight on under the covers. So we are not using this. Now, when I was at work, I had even a smaller one, and so he's gone through several of those. He loses them. So one of these days, there's going to be like this huge. I'm going to find like 3 or 4 flashlights but they're only like this big. They're teeny tiny, and he has gone to sleep with those on in bed. So I really have to watch and make sure that he's turned the flashlight off. But this is a no-go for his hands because it does get warm. In fact, it gets hot. If you leave it on very long, the barrel gets hot. So if I was going to recommend one, I would recommend the cheapest one for around the house. It does not get hot. And the $23 one for if you need to go outside with it. And you just want a cheap flashlight laying around, right? I mean, the $70 one, sure, yeah, that thing will illuminate everything. But you don't always need that, right? Sometimes you just need kind of to see where you're going. So, Shane says, you digging that new Ibis still, Peter? In the S5 Mark II. Yes. Roy says, anybody else buffering? Is it buffering? And Shane says, yep, it may be an Aussie thing. Oh. Peter says, yes, sir. Could live with that as my only camera, Shane. I also did a solution on the sound issue, the way you suggested, plus one other way. And Shane's saying, nice. Peter says, oh gosh, I have that light. Which one? Peter says, if I click the back switch once, normal light. Hit the back switch twice, it will blind someone and burn a hole in your pants. So, are you talking about this one? I don't want to shine it right at the camera, but yeah, this one, when it's on high, it gets hot. So, and it's like $16. See, it's already warming up. You can already feel it. Now, if you leave it on for a few minutes, it gets hot enough that you don't want to hold it by the barrel. So, now, if you know that, and you have a plethora, if you're going to be needing a flashlight for extended periods of time, just grab a different one. But if you're only going to buy one, I'd probably go with either the little, what was it, $10 or something like that, for in the house, or if you needed it for outside, the $23 one, because they don't. They're just fine. Roy says, I love the Cree version. It takes 1865 batteries. Is that this one? See, this, I think that's this one. But you have to charge, actually, no, that one you don't. Where you actually have to charge the battery. I think it may be this one. Yeah. And these batteries apparently are replaceable, although I've never seen batteries that charge. But I don't like the fact you have to take it out and charge it out of the flashlight. So, but it has its use. And it does, because it is lower lumens, the battery seems to last longer. So there is that. There's always a silver lining. Mine is called the Through Night Saber. Okay, well that's this one. That's the one for I think was it $10? Yeah, $11. Please tell me this is not what they sent you to replace that other one, because that other one was an expensive flashlight. It was not a $10 flashlight. So Peter and I had the same flashlight, and mine, 3 of them, and mine have been absolutely fine. I've had no trouble with any of them, but he had trouble with his, and I don't remember what the problem was. They replaced it once, and then I think the second time or third time, they sent him just a different flashlight. Please tell me it was not this one. Because if it was, they got you. That would be a gotcha. Sammy says, I need a flashlight. Yeah, Sammy, these are incredible. Through Night, I I have not had any problems. I have the big catapult, and then I have three of the, I believe they're called TT20s. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I think that's what they're called. Oh yeah, right here. Okay. So yeah, these are the big boys. And it's in my truck. They're in my truck, or I'd show them to you. But yeah, they're like $100. Um, they do over 2,000, 2,500 lumens. So they're extremely bright. They will shine. They don't have as long a throw as the catapult, but they will shine. And I don't think they get as hot as these little ones. I've never had it on long enough to really test that theory, but they're $100. So I have three of those. I have two, I think two blue and a brown one, and I love them. They stay in my truck. They stay charged. Uh, they may be in there 6 months, and they keep their charge. And so when I need it, it's ready. And I have a charging thing in my truck set up, so I can just, if it is getting low, I can just plug it in and drive wherever I'm going. And by the time I get there, it's charged. So I absolutely love those. I know a lot of people like the Olight. My issue with Olight, they make a fantastic flashlight, but they have, a lot of them have proprietary chargers, and if you lose that, it's kind of like a charger for an Apple Watch. You're kind of SOL, and so I would rather have the USB-C. Roy says, I bought a bunch of those USB rechargeable. They don't carry enough charge. Yeah, it would probably depend on what you're using them for. Now, the $100 one, the TT20, it has a bigger, I don't know if it says what size it is. 21, 21,700. So it has a bigger battery, and I've not had any problems. Roy says looks less nerdy than a headlight. Well, I mean, they do double as a headlight because with the way the clip is, you can either clip them on your shirt, down like that, or you can clip them on a ball cap so you can kind of see what you're working on. And and I have actually, in fact, I need to do it again. Every time the seasons change, like we're having really cold nights right now, um, and hot days, the air pressure in my tire gets wonky. So so you just put this on your ball cap, and you can see to inflate the tires, add a little air to them. So pretty handy. Uh, Peter says, you are the Tom Buck of flashlights. If my credit cards were open, I would buy them all. Did you put links for these in the description? Yes, I did. They are down in the description below. And Carlos is here. How you doing? I saw you just dropped a thing on Instagram, which I love. They're very, very short, and I end up watching them 2 or 3 times before it's dawned on me you're saying the same thing because it's replayed. I love flashlights and spend ridiculous amounts of money on them since I use them outdoors to light up my campsites when I need to. The catapult is definitely a camping flashlight. The TT20 would be a small version of a camping flashlight, but the catapult actually has a further throw. And if you're a flashlight person, you know what throw means. It's how far the light shines out. And so when I'm in the woods, I want to be able to see everything around me. So I know if there's a bear walking up on me, or, I just, and typically lights scare animals away. I want them scared at a distance. So they run the other way before they ever get to me. Yeah. Let's see. Roy says, I love the lights and the gloves for little jobs. Ah. Now, see, I've never seen a pair of lights in a pair of gloves. I've got a beanie that has like a flashlight, but it aims down, and so if you're looking down, it doesn't it doesn't shine the light where you need it. So you kind of have to look. It's kind of like bifocals. You kind of have to raise your head up a little bit. Yeah. So, but with these, if it's on your ball cap, you can put it exactly where you want it. Carlos says, love the Sofern Q8. Oh, I'll have to check that one out. I've never heard of that. Roy says some cheap lights break when you keep dropping them. Yeah, well, there's that. I can't say that I really drop my flashlights or cameras or, yeah. But in all fairness, my camera, because it is rather expensive, I put on a strap. So I don't really, and if I'm just needing like to take it out for a little bit and I'm in a crowded environment, I have a little hand strap thing. So if somebody jostles it out of my hand, it's not going to fall to the ground. So yeah, I am kind of OCD about stuff like that. And I don't know that I've ever dropped a flashlight. I have had trouble with the TT20s have the switches on the barrel, unless you want like ultra high and then it's got a tail switch. But when I've had gloves on, I have had trouble finding that button. So there's that. But that's just me, because in the wintertime when it's really, really cold, I put gloves on these little hands. Roy says, my days of pocket full of AA batteries are gone. All my flashlights are now 18650. Yes, I can't imagine. Now I did buy some of those rechargeable batteries that you guys suggested, and they have done phenomenally. Right now I think they're on the charger. Oh, and they're already charged. So I just put them on there maybe 2 hours ago, and they're already charged and ready to go. I don't really have a lot that uses regular AA batteries anymore. I have a few things. Um, my sign still uses AA batteries, but I don't really have too many things that that take AA batteries. I'm trying to think, because now all of my flashlights are rechargeable. I can't really think of anything else I would have that takes AA batteries. So, yay. So that's working. Um, but yeah, this little camera battery charger, I mean, because the DJI Action 4, which is probably my most used camera, it has the little charger thing. Let me get it and I'll show it to you. So this, and it's got one missing because it's in the camera. Um, but it'll show you if it's green or red or, whatever. And this charges 3 batteries at one time. Now, for the Osmo 4, I only have 3 batteries. So, I probably need to get a 4th. But again, they run for about an hour. That's kind of my rule of thumb, is camera batteries last about an hour. And so this is super handy. And look how small that is. I mean, it'll fit anywhere. You can tuck it, you can put it inside a shoe, tuck it around in your luggage, you can tuck it wherever. So, and I usually take the pair of shoes I'm wearing on the plane, which will be the heaviest pair, and then I usually pack a pair of sandals and a pair of tennis shoes. So I make use of all that space. and I'll tuck things in the tennis shoes. And so, but I really like this, and I have not had one for the M6, and so this is just fantastic. I'm taken back with it. And then the DJI mic, it's in a case too that charges, and so it'll show you the little lights. Boy, they are big on camera. They're really not that big. I don't know why they show up so big, but they do, and it will not focus. Okay, fine. They're actually little bitty lights, but it'll show you if it's charged or not charged. And as soon as you open the case, everything turns on, and it's just, I like that. I like the ease. It's like having an easy button. So now I have a charging case for the M6, and I couldn't be happier. It doesn't take much. I'm a simple person. Peter says, I think I'm confused. So first, yes, they sent me the saber to shut me up. Second, if I turn the saber on and off in a fairly quick sequence, it becomes so bright it scares me, and so hot. Oh, yeah, they got you. Because the TT20 is the one you had, and that's like a $100 flashlight. And the one they replaced it with is a $10 flashlight. So, sorry about that. It becomes so bright it scares me, and so hot I actually cannot touch it at all. Does your saber have 2 light brightness levels? I wonder if there are multiple saber models, maybe. I think this was the saber, right? The green one? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. If you hold the tail switch down, it'll get, is it getting brighter or dimmer? Well, so see how much brighter that is? So yes, it does get really bright, but it is not anywhere near the flashlight that the TT20 is. Sorry. Yeah. But didn't they send you one TT20, and was it something about the switch quit working or something? And so yeah, probably they downgraded you, which I don't really like that. I would think they would give you a comparable model, but Peter says, and my Saber also has that interesting battery that you take out and plug USB straight into. Yeah, that's this one, which is $10, which you take the battery out and plug it in. Yeah. So, whoop, that's why I don't like that, because you can drop this. And if you were standing up, it would be on the floor, and you rolling under a cabinet, and you'd probably, have to go find it. I really prefer the ones that you just unscrew the barrel just a little bit and then plug it in without having to take this all the way off. So, yeah, it does seem like they could have at least sent you the Pro. I mean, because they're only $23. So, I don't know. But they did honor the warranty after the warranty was out of date. So, that is something, right? Yeah, there we go. So far, I have not had any problems with any, and now I have, what, 7? Now, these 3 I just got within the last week. I got them on Amazon Prime Days. And so I really can't say that these are going to stand the test of time. But this one was like $10. I don't really care. If it lasts for a year, I'm happy. It's $10. And it's bright enough for this one. I keep on my bedside table because it's bright enough for what I need it for in the house. Like it'll light up the darkest corner of your closet. Or I've got some kitchen cabinets that go way back, and they have like this little teeny tiny shelf back there, and it's very hard to see in there. And so I just grab my flashlight and I can see just fine. So, yeah, this is my new in the house flashlight. And I think I have, well, I know I do. I have one of the TT20s in my camping backpack, and it just kind of lives there. And then I have I have two in my truck. So why do I have two in my truck? I honestly don't know. Peter's asking Roy, are the 18650 the type that the battery has the plug-in slots on them? So they make both types. I don't know if this will actually come off. Yeah, no, it won't. I don't know if you can get the battery out of there. The because these have the 18650 battery also. I don't think they come out. I don't think you can unscrew these all the way. Yeah, you can't. So you have no way to get to the battery, which that might be an issue if the battery ever crapped out on you. But I guess they're thinking at $10, just buy another flashlight. Yeah. So I really prefer the ones that don't come out. But these do use the same size, and now that may be a hole to the battery, but it doesn't look like it is. See if it'll focus on it. Come on, focus. It's not wanting to focus on it. Let's see if this one will. I don't have the big lights on, so sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know if I can zoom in any more on that. Will it focus? Yeah. So it doesn't look like that's the battery, but I guess it could be, but it doesn't look like it is. But this doesn't come off, and there's no other way to get it, like the tail doesn't open. So yeah, so when these crap out, they're just done, and I'm okay with that. That's not a big deal for me. The TT20, I believe you can either take the front or the back off. But it's like the catapult. It's got a little rubber piece to charge the battery. But I do believe you can take either the front or the back off to change the battery out. So that's kind of the difference between a $20 flashlight and a $100 flashlight. So you're really not talking apples to apples there. Roy says, mostly recovered 18650 batteries from dead laptops. Oh, really? I did not know that. Because I have two, well, I think I gave one to my daughter. I have an old laptop that I'm getting ready to throw away. That's like from the 90s. Are there any usable pieces I can glean off of it? Because you know I will. I'll take that thing apart, lickety split. Roy says most 18650 batteries have a small protection circuit built in. The USB takes up space and makes it less powerful. Okay. But the TT20s also have the bigger 25,000. No, I'm sorry. They have the 21700 battery. So it's a thicker battery. It's a bigger, thicker flashlight. I don't really know what this one has in it, but I don't know that you can take it apart. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Uh, so you guys are, well, oh, ho, 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 ho. This is the battery in the big catapult. That's a big battery. I don't know where my glasses are. Here they are. This is a 5,000, no, 26,650. See if it'll focus. Yeah, 26,650. That's a big battery. Which one was it? Comes out this one? Yeah. Look at the size difference. Yeah. This one charges. And now this one has that flap there. But it does not have anything on the battery that charges it. So it charges in the flashlight. The flashlight has something in it to charge it. So, yeah, that's a big battery. And this is this is the biggest flashlight that I have. I used to have those what were they called? Mag lights. And I had little small double A's, and I had make sure it still works. Which yeah, it does. Um, but that's a big battery. This is the size of a double A, so which is fine for around the house. That's all I need. Did I put it in there right? Yep. So, I mean, different situations call for different flashlights, and this would be what I would take, like, if I was going camping and for, like a weekend, because this thing has a throw that is nobody's business. And I don't remember this one ever getting hot, but this is a remarkable flashlight. It's also expensive. So, yeah, there's that. Peter says, I still have the first one you gave me, a replacement, plus the saber. So they sent me two. Okay. I keep the TT20 by my bed and the saber in my pocket. Yeah, because this little thing is a pocket beast. It's so little that I can just put it in my sling bag, and I always have a flashlight with me. So I don't know that I've ever like needed one anywhere I take my sling. I've needed some where I take my backpacks, but I don't know, because usually I just take the sling like if I'm running in a store or something, and I don't think I've ever had to use a flashlight in a store. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, the TT20 that's the one I keep in my truck, and that is a ridiculously good flashlight, but it's also $100. So Carlos says Sofern Q8 11,000 lumen. Wow. 400 meter. Wow. So it's got a throw of 400 meters. That beats mine. I'm going to look up those Sofern. Are they on Amazon? I'll just look them up right now. Because I have the power. I just absolutely love that Randy showed me how to do this. Um, and you said it was 11,000 lumen. So is it pretty good size? Maybe? Let's see. 11,000. Uh, I see a 12,000. It looks kind of like my catapult. Ooh, 11,000. Ooh, ooh. Let me see if I can get this one on the screen. The bunk. Yeah. Is it that one? Q8? Yep. And you get a 15% off coupon if you're a Prime member. So that would knock it down to about $80 or something like that. That's a nice flashlight. I may have found a new favorite. I may have to favorite that one, because that's little. That doesn't look like it's very big at all. Do they show it in somebody's hand? They show it. That doesn't really show how big it is. Yeah, it doesn't really show. But yeah, that's got a heck of a throw on it. 400 meters. I'm impressed. You found a good one. And has it lasted? Because it does say it's rechargeable. 4 LEDs. I don't know how many this one has. Oh yeah, because see, this only has one. So I bet that Sofern is brighter than this. I don't know how much uh, the catapult is now. Oh, let's not do that. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm still learning. Um, let's see if I can find the catapult. I know it's not cheap. Um, well, I'm not actually seeing it. They may not make it anymore. Um, the my little flashlight that I used to carry in my pocket at work, they don't make those anymore. So, but I had ordered 10 because they were like 10 for $30 of the little bitty ones. And with the idea of giving them out as Christmas gifts, and somehow they got confused and they sent me 20. So, uh, but I don't see, I don't see this one anymore. It kind of looks, it kind of looks like this one. Um, but I paid way more than $40 for it. But it says it's normally what, 56 dollars. I paid way more than that for it. But that's got 2836 lumens, 692 meter throw. So, um, which that actually sounds like that light because it is stupid. Let me put my glasses on and see if it has a model number. I guess I could take that off of there. V6 SST70. Yeah, that's that one. Well, now they're only $40. But it has a stupid amount of throw. So I did not put the link to this one in there because I really wasn't going to talk about this tonight. It's kind of more these little flashlights, but yeah, $40, that's a steal. But it does only have one bulb. Carlos, yours has 4, so I would think yours would be brighter. Randy says, how long does the large battery stay charged? The one in this big one, uh, it needs to be charged now because I've been using it, but I I don't know. Does it say? That would be a good indicator if it says on here. Let's see if it says. Come on. And yada 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 yada. Does that show one? Yeah, it only has one light, I think. Um, it does not say, but that's got to be it. Um, let's see if it says over here. Compact. Oh, long, including a okay. Charge quickly, but it doesn't say how long it stays on. I've never had a problem with it. Like, I've never noticed it dying quickly. So, we took it on, where were we at? We took it kayaking and we got back at dark. And so I used it to get the kayaks secured in the truck because you couldn't see anything. I mean, it was pitch black. And so I used it, and it probably took us, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes to get everything loaded up and tied down. And I never had a problem. So, but that's the thing is, I mean, unless you know you're going to be, like if you're camping for a weekend, I would take something to charge it if you're going to be using it more than normal type thing. With them being rechargeable, that is one of the nice things. is you don't really have to carry extra batteries now. You just can carry a power bank and kind of charge it on the fly. So that is kind of a handy little feature. Royce says the LED buttons on the Z8 and Z9 make life in a dark studio much easier. Yes. Yes, they would. So I think I look on Facebook and I find stuff, and I think I found a Z8 for not a lot of money. Is that the less expensive of the two? And it looked like it was fairly small. I don't know anything about Nikon, so I don't know. But and does it have a flippy screen? And is it a flippy up or a flippy out? Peter says this flashlight show is so much fun. Well, since Randy showed me how to do the thing, and it's just like just 2 clicks and you're there. So he's created this monster because, I love things, and so I buy all these little gadgets, and it makes my life full and complete and happy. And I'm extremely happy about my new battery charger. So, oh, did I mention it comes with a little carrying case? I probably didn't, because this is kind of like DJI's case. The case for the microphone is the worst thing ever. It's one of these. Why? Why? You have such a nice microphone. Why would you send a bag like this with it? And the same thing with this. This is it really feels premium. It doesn't feel cheap. It's not, it's got a nice little magnetic thing that you can't hear because the crisp is blocking that out. But it feels really well made. Why would you send something this nice with this? Seriously? So I put them in a tech pouch anyway. But it does come with this. So now, this little stand, it's $10. They're allowed to send a cheap little case. Okay? That's all this needs. But these other companies that want to charge a premium for their products, and then they send these little pouches that are nothing. There's literally nothing to this. It's not lined. I'm not impressed with the pouch. I am impressed with the charger, not the pouch. Roy says, light entertainment. Yes, if Scott hadn't come in tonight, if Scott was here, he could bring refreshments, and we're having light entertainment. Get it? Okay, never mind. Randy says, the Through Night Catapult Pro Rechargeable Flashlight SFT 70, 105 or 1005 meters throw, 2713 lumens. Okay, mine is the SST 70. So the SFT 70, let's see if I can find that one. Okay, so that one is still $55. So yeah, that one, just get this a little bit higher here. I'm not real smooth with this yet. I'll get there. That one is still $55, and it doesn't look like there's a coupon. So mine is probably an older version. I don't know what the difference between the two of them are. 2713 lumens, and I don't even remember what mine was. But when you get that far of a throw and that many lumens, it's going to be a bright flashlight. So, but the other one I think was on sale for, wasn't it like $40 or something? I think this is just because it's an older version, maybe. It's normally 50, what is that, 55 nights, $56. Well, like I said, I'm not real smooth with this yet. Um, but it doesn't have as much throw as the newer version. Um, so for an extra $15, you get almost double, not quite double, but almost double the throw. So that's impressive. That very impressive. Um, okay, let's see. Roy says the more charge a battery holds for its size, the shorter time it will hold when stored. Okay, the more charge a battery holds for its size, the shorter time it will hold when stored. Okay. And Peter says, "Ooh, I want one." Yeah, they're ridiculous flashlights. Uh, Carlos says, "I've always wanted the Eminent MS-18, 100,000 lumens. Can't spend that kind of money though." Yeah, that must be a ridiculously bright flashlight. That's like you could land an airplane with. 100,000 lumens. Wow. An eminent. Let's see what that is. Does if they're that expensive, does Amazon have them? Eminent. And am I spelling it right? Nope. Nope. Eminent. We'll see what that is. Which one is it? The MS-18. I see a MS-32, which is 2,000 lumens. Oh my goodness. MS-18? Yes. Oh my. Oh my goodness. $669. There you go, Peter. That would burn paint off the side of the house. Wow. That is an amazing. It doesn't say what the throw is on it, but it's got to be like a county. You know, it would stretch across the whole county. Goodness gracious, but I agree with you. Now they do have a 10% coupon. So you can save $67 right now. But still, $600 for a flashlight. I'm kind of like you, Carlos. I probably would not do that. That might be just a little bit of a stretch for me. Randy says, yes, I saw that Nikon Z8 and it was refurbished and $2,000 off. Well, okay, so here's the thing about how I feel about refurbished. I bought a brand new from a camera store Canon 90D. And I had nothing but problems out of that camera. And I sold it to a photographer and she had nothing but, I guess she had problems because 6 months later it was up for sale again. So all the rest of my cameras, except for the Osmos, have been refurbished from Canon. Okay. I have never had any problems with any of them. And they look brand new. They have all functioned perfectly. So here's my thinking. When Canon gets a camera back and they renew it, this is just my thinking. I could be completely wrong, but my thinking is an actual person looks at each and every one of those cameras and puts it through its paces and makes sure that everything on it works before they can sell it as refurbished. I honestly believe that the new cameras, they come out of an assembly line and they probably check every fourth, fifth, sixth one, and the rest of them slide by. So I still, to this day, I could not tell you what was wrong with the 90D, but it had issues. Okay. The I think there was like some sound issues. There was some SD card issues. I lost. So Canon has a 30-minute record time. We all know this. And so normally when the record time is at it, I think it's like 29.59 seconds or something, the camera will shut off and you just go and hit the button again and it starts back up. and records another file. Okay, the Canon 90D would not do that. So it had issues because it was supposed to do that. And that was one of the issues I had. So I lost half of Christmas one year. So it just, when a camera gives you problems, you lose faith in it. And that's not the one you're going to pick up if it's an important occasion. So, if you're just fooling around with it or something, okay. But you're not going to pick it up. Like, I lost half of Christmas. That was kind of a big deal for me. And so I lost faith in the camera. The 80D was a refurbished camera. Never had any problems with it at all. I just sold it to a really nice lady. And I felt very confident because I never had any issues with that camera whatsoever. So it was just so big, I don't use it. And so it was just sitting. And when I moved and I had to move all this stuff, it dawned on me that I have too many microphones, I have too many interfaces, I have too many cameras, I have, and so I'm kind of sorting through and selling the stuff I don't use. I think I have 4 interfaces and 8, 9 microphones, something like that. So I'm starting to list them on Facebook and sell them a little bit at a time. But because I don't want to move it again, right? I've got so much stuff, I don't want to move it again. You hear me? So, plus, and if something were to happen to me, I don't want my kids to have to deal with that, So there's a reason for that. Roy's talking to Randy, saying the LED buttons and the second USB are really underrated features of the Z8. Okay, so is the Z8 the little one? Because, I mean, it was pretty, and I don't remember where I saw it now. Maybe it was B&H. Peter says, Roy, both are super winning features. Roy says, I don't know about lumens. I press a button and light comes out. Yes, well, like this little indoor flashlight is, what did I say, 659 lumens. So that's not real bright. Now, there are a lot of flashlights out there. The one that I carried for years was 330, and I thought it did phenomenal. So, as technology advances, we're getting brighter lights. But so 659 is not really considered very high lumen. Where's my mouse? There he is. Randy says the Z8 refurbished product, 1695Q, $2,799.95, out of stock. Okay, the one I saw was a lot cheaper than that. It was like $1,700, and it very well may have been refurbished. I really don't know. I don't know where I saw it, to be honest with you. I've kind of been looking at Adorama and B&H, and I was going to buy something from B&H, and then they were closed, and they wouldn't let me check out, and now I can't even remember what it was, because when I went back, my cart was empty. So that happens. Roy says to Peter, all cameras should have LED buttons. Well, I agree with that, because when you're in a dark environment, it would be nice. Now, usually there's enough light that if I'm trying to film something or take pictures, even like at a wedding where it was very, very dark, I could still see the buttons. And they're not illuminated, but yes, they should be. I agree. And there is the traveling man himself, Mr. Camera Junkie. Hi, everyone. How you doing? How are you doing, sir? I think are you still at the... No. You may be home by now. I don't know. If you're not, you probably will be within maybe tomorrow. So I think was it an Ecamm camp. I think it was over last week. Z8 refurbished, $27.99.95. Yeah, I don't think that was the one I was looking at. Randy says $1,000 off, but is out of stock for the Nikon Z8. Okay. I want to say this was on Marketplace. Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of scams going on Marketplace. It's almost gotten to the point where if somebody has a camera for sale, you first think it's a scam and then think it might be real, because there's so many scams right now. And Randy's saying, hey to Lewis. Roy says, I'd buy refurbished except from Amazon. So, yes, all my refurbished cameras have been through Canon. I agree with that because I don't think when Amazon gets a camera back, they may look at it, but they're not camera people. And so I think it just goes into a pile with everything else that they get back. And, oh, this looks fine. It's renewed. You know, I'm a little sus of that. And Carlos is saying, hey to Lewis, hope you had a blast at Creator Camp. Got to go sometime. Yeah, I would love to go. And I'm in an eCam group on Facebook, and they ask so many questions that, now most of them relate around Zoom, and I don't really Zoom with eCam, so I don't know the problems with that. So I used to Zoom with my webcam and not through eCam. So I don't know how those two marry up. Lewis says, so much fun. I'll be talking about it nonstop for the next couple of weeks. That's cool. That's cool. And Lewis saying hi to Randy. Randy saying Z8 is smaller than the Z9 full frame camera, bigger than the 90D. Okay, maybe it was not the Z8 I was looking at. I'm not real familiar with Nikon, so I know it was a interchangeable lens full frame, but it looked about the size of the Sony 5100, which is, I have held that in my hands, and that is a small camera. So I'm not real familiar with Sony's models either, other than the A blah blah blah, the A51, 6000, 61, 62, and I like those because they have the flip up screen. I'm not a fan of the flip out screen. Have you caught on to that? Mr. Camera says, New Jersey, I just started my drive back today. Okay, so you'll be home by Thursday, probably? He says, I'll be home Thursday or Friday. Yep. Well, drive careful, safely and careful comes out surfly. Yeah. Take your time coming back. You're not in a rush, I don't think. And kind of stop and smell the roses, so to speak. But it's not you I worry about. It's the other crazy people on the road. Yeah. It's amazing. I drive a dark gray truck, and I swear it becomes invisible at certain times of day. Because, I live in a bigger metropolitan area now, and so there's more traffic. But I swear my truck becomes invisible. And, and I'm one of these drivers that, thank goodness, the people that offend me can't hear me. But my grandson can hear me, and he thinks it's hilarious. He wants us to get a rocket launcher so we can just blow these cars up. Yeah, Mr. Camera Junkie is Team Flip Up also. Yeah. I remember when you had that argument about flip up or flip out, and at the time I had the 80 and the 90D, and they were both flip out, and so I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm Team Flip Out. And then I got the M6 Mark II, which is flip up, and total game changer, complete game changer. I don't think I will ever go back. I'm not going to say never say never, but I don't think I will go back to the flip out. I just love the flip up. That for me, that's a thing. So the one that I'm looking at to replace the G7X is the Sony RX100 Mark 7 flip up screen. Of course, the G7X has a flip up screen too, but the I don't know. I don't know if the Sony's a little bit smaller. They almost look very comparable, and I didn't really use the G7X Mark III very much, so that's the only thing that's kept me from pulling the trigger on it, because I sold two cameras that would pay for the RX100. So, I mean, it would just be like a swap out type thing. The Sony menu system is a little discombobulating compared to the Canon, because I'm a Canon girl. I've just, I'm so used to that menu system that the ZV-1, which has a flip out screen, by the way, is it just sits up there because it is set where I want it to be set, and I don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, I like that. And I started to put this one for sale, the ZV-1, and it dawned on me I would not have an overhead camera. And I use my overhead camera a lot. So that was, I actually had listed it and had to take it off, because I'm like, if I get rid of that, what am I going to use up there? So, but it's thrilling and exciting. I love selling stuff on Facebook. It's just like, it's almost like fishing, because you put your lure out there and you slowly reel it in. And some things, like the Canon sold in, the little point shoot sold in 2 hours. The other one sold in a day. So the camera market is hot right now. But and then I've got all these microphones, and so I've listed some of those, and it's like you're waiting for that fish, and so it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy selling stuff on Facebook. I years and years ago, when eBay first came out, I had sold some stuff on eBay, and it used to be 25 cents a listing. I think it has gone way up. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it. But, and a lot of people buy camera gear and stuff off eBay. For camera gear, I want to see it and feel it and test it out and make sure the screen's not cracked and make sure that everything works, and, take a picture with it and that kind of thing, because I'm a little nervous about buying from an individual if I don't know them. Now, I got this from John Vandervoort, I think is how you say his name, the Tesla guy. But and he's part of our family, so I trusted him, and it's been a fantastic camera. It was like brand new. So, and I think it had like a wide angle lens with it. But I tried like vlogging with it, and I wasn't a fan. So, I don't know. I really haven't seen people vlog with the RX100. It's like Marcus Pick's favorite camera, but he doesn't walk and talk with it. He just sets it on a tripod and stands in front of it and talks. So, I don't know how good it would be for vlogging. So, but, and the ZVs, they were actually made with vlogging in mind, which, okay, why didn't they give it a flip up screen? If it's made for vlogging, well, I can answer my own question. They gave it a flip out screen so you could attach like the microphone and stuff on top, but you can put the microphone on the side. So why not make it a flip up and put the hot shoe on the side? I'm sure there's something there. I'm sure that there's something within the camera that makes that not doable. But put a cold shoe on the side. I mean, you plug the mic into the camera anyway, so just put a cold shoe on the side and don't give it a hot shoe. Yeah. Anyway. Lewis says, no rush. I even took an extra day in Amesbury. Oh, that's cool. Did you get to go to that car place? you were talking about that car place last year, and it kind of sparked my interest. Roy is talking to Randy, says, I have big hands. The Z8 is the best fit since the Nikon D850. I have tiny hands, so that would not be a good fit. And sorry about that. I've been talking way too much. You guys are so quiet. Randy's talking to Roy saying, what about the Z9? And Randy's talking to Lewis saying, Amesbury, Massachusetts looks like a wonderful place to visit. This is the time of year when you need to be in the Northeast. I had the opportunity to travel years ago, 40 years ago. And I went all over the whole United States for like a year, right? I was home 3 times that year for a day or two. And the rest of the time I was out on the road. And the colors in the Northeast, Oklahoma, we have the change of seasons and our leaves turn, orange and gold and whatever. Until you have been in the Northeast, you have not seen the colors of fall. Because what we have here cannot even hold a candle to the vibrancy of those colors in Massachusetts and New Hampshire and Maine. It's ridiculous. They are. Now, that would be a challenge for a camera to capture those colors, because they are the deepest reds, and the golds are just, it is so beautiful. So yeah, if you get to drive around a little bit and you can go, instead of a main highway, you can kind of go an alternate highway, I would take that, because the scenery you're going to see is breathtaking. It'll knock your socks off. Roy's talking to Randy saying, love the Z9 too, but lately it's become a bit bulky. Now, if Roy says a camera is bulky, that would be like huge for me, because if you put this little camera right here in Roy's hand, it literally is the size of a deck of cards. And so Roy, if he has big hands, it would just swallow the camera. So this little M200 would not be a good camera for Roy, for more reasons than the size, but yeah, I get it. Lewis says to Randy, this year was perfect timing with the changing of seasons. All the colors were out. Yeah, I would love to see that again. So that's going on my bucket list, is to be up in the Massachusetts area maybe next October. Randy says to Roy, I agree. Like the Z8, the Z6 Mark II, and the ZF better. Maybe it was a ZF. No, ZF's not full frame, is it? Randy's saying to Lewis, if you stayed a little longer, you might even see snow. Yeah, that's when I would leave. Snow is snow. It doesn't matter if it's in the Northeast or if it's in Oklahoma. It's white, and it's snow. Yeah, there's nothing. I wouldn't give $2 to see snow. Roy is saying to Randall, I haven't seen snow since Europe. You're not missing anything. It's white. And it's not like there's varying degrees of white. It's white. Whether you're up there or down here, it's white. So I had to drive in snow up there. I'm not a fan. So once the weather gets cold enough for it to snow, it would be time for me to head home. Lewis says, I passed by the car place and it was closed every time I drove by. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that was kind of on your list of things to do. Randy says, I lived in New Jersey for 3 years. Wonderful all year until it snows and snows and snows. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Randy says to Roy, it snowed here in Texas 2 years ago. We pretty much get snow every year, but most years it only lasts about 3 days. Now, there have been exceptions to that rule. We got such a bad snow / ice storm that it broke all the electric poles, and we were without power for 11 days. They said they couldn't find us. They find us when it's time to pay the bill, but they said they couldn't find us. So it really wasn't that bad. Yeah, you don't have internet, you don't have computers, okay. But we put all of our food in an ice chest and just set it out the back door. And we had gas for hot water and gas for cooking and gas for heat. So it really wasn't like a hardship, other than trying to keep two little kids entertained without TV and game consoles and, stuff like that. So, but it was kind of a fun family time. So, Randy's saying in the San Antonio area. Yes. Yes, you're far enough south that you probably don't get as much snow as we do, because what am I, about how many hours? I'm 5 or 6 hours north of you, and then several hours east of you. So, but yeah, we don't get it horrible. Everybody complains about it, but it's really not that big a thing. And so this year, if I don't have to be anywhere and it snows, I'm just going to keep my little self at home. Yeah. Well, guys, as you can tell, I'm losing my voice. Thank you all so much for coming in. I don't even know. It looks like everybody hit the thumbs up button, so thank you for that. And thank you so much for coming in and getting to, I love getting to chat with you guys. You're a wealth of knowledge. And I learn something every week. So I really hugely appreciate you supporting me, and that is so weird that I forgot to turn on these two lights. So it's been a little bit dark tonight, but I think it's okay. It looks like I've got this huge light above me, and I don't. But with these on, it doesn't do that. So, it's always, live stream's always something. Randy, thank you so much for showing me that easy button on how to get the products over. And if you guys like that, I'll keep doing it. If it annoys you, I will stop. So let me know in the comments. Give me your feedback. And we will do it again next Tuesday. So, Lewis, stay safe out on the road. And we'll be saying our prayers that you get home safely. And everybody, I will see you. Oh, wait a minute. Roy snuck one in here. Moved to Melbourne years ago. No tornadoes or earthquakes. Just bushfires and overly friendly fauna. Yeah, I did some of that fauna work today. I was having to clear out stuff. So, but guys, thank you so much for coming in, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Good night, everybody.